Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Duo Group Ironman. Last video, I completely charted all the oceans of Gilnor. I got the Horizons lure for the 2.5% sailing XP boost, and I made it up to level 90 sailing. From here, there's two routes I can go with sailing. The first one is rushing to 99, doing the Gwyneth Glide course, and I could probably get there in about 40 hours. Or the other route, which is what I'm going to be doing, is going for collection log items, because if you go for all the collection log items that come from sailing, you'll get 99 well before you finish all these different collection logs, because there are a lot of them. And even I was showing in the last video, even just the Dragon Cannon Barrel, which I got one of them in the last video, it would take you beyond 99 sailing from the minimum requirement to get these, just to meet the drop rate for two of them. But there are so many other items to get from sailing, and because I'm going to be doing so much sailing, I want to make some upgrades to my ship. In fact, even if I was going to be doing the Gwyneth Glide course straight to 99, I'd probably still want to make this upgrade, at least this one, the Rosewood Hull, because this increases the speed of the boat to give you the fastest possible base speed. There's a lot of combat stuff I got to do for collection log items, and before I get into all the combat boat stuff, I'd also want to upgrade my keel to get the most amount of armor possible. The Dragon Cannon, of course, I'd want to upgrade my Rune Cannon for the highest DPS. There's two items that I'm going to need to make all these upgrades. I'm going to need Dragon Nails, and if I scroll down, you can see all the things that require Dragon Nails. There are a lot of them. The mast is another thing. And also Dragon Metal Sheets, also used for a lot of the same things. Here's what drops Dragon Nails. As you can see, the best way to get them is going to be from Frost Dragons. Or you can also break down Dragon Metal Sheets to get 15 nails out of them. Dragon Metal Sheets, now how do we get those? Oh look, also Frost Dragons drop them. There's a couple of boat combat monsters, these types of Krakens, but I don't want to be doing the ship combat until I make these upgrades to my boat. And then there's Lava Strike Worms, which are a Slayer monster, but I'd rather do dragons. I'll figure out as I go or while I'm killing the dragons how many I need, because it's going to be a lot and it's going to take a long time. I just want to get there and get started, and I can look up more stuff later. So here's how we're going to be getting there. I'm going to be traveling, or I'm traveling to Weiss, and you need 87 sailing to be able to dock here on Grimstone. And let's get going on the long, treacherous trek all the way over to Grimstone. We're like a quarter of the way there. Oh, we're like a third of the way there. We're probably halfway there already. Here we are, first time landing here. Some Walasakis on the island that are aggressive. Let's get into the cave. We want to go into the cave. That's where the dragons are. Probably should be praying. There's a fairy ring right next to the dragons that you can use once you've moored on the island once. So I should have it unlocked now. This is the furnace that makes the cannonballs twice as fast. We got some chill jellies. Now that I've been there once, the fairy ring code to get back there is DLP to the Grimstone dungeon. It's very important to have that fairy ring code because of the furnace being right here as well. There's not a bank in the dungeon. For my first time since sailing has come out, I have to put some actual real gear on because this is not going to cut it for dragons. The wiki, as well as all the videos I'm seeing, are saying to use Crush with the lance. I was looking at my bonuses. My stab is plus 22 over the Crush, but on the wiki it shows the Frost Dragon's defense as being only 10 less with Crush, but maybe it doesn't translate that way and everyone else I'm seeing is using Crush, so I'm going to be a sheep and follow them and not use stab. I've also heard that it is extremely hard to find a world here, and it is very packed, and it is Saturday right now, although it is the evening, so it's probably not the best time to be trying to do this, but I need to make these upgrades, man. I don't even know why I'd bother with the 2350 world. You'd be more likely to find people at the Frost Dragons, I feel like, compared to non-total level world. Every world I see 3 people. It seems like the left, middle, and the right side, there's one person for each of those. So I guess it supports like 3 people per world. And I found a world I want to pot up because I just have a defender on, not wearing the anti-dragon shield. I got the super attack and super strength because I don't need defense since I'll be praying. Cadentines are a bit more annoying to come by than Arits and Quarms, so I try to preserve those where I can. And the first kill of the Frost Dragon bones. I've highlighted them so they're a bit easier to see. And there is a safe spot. If you stand here, I don't believe they'll be able to reach you, even if I try to lure it in. Yeah, because that rock's in the way and this wall's in the way. So you could stand here and safe spot with Ranger Mage. I really do have to be extremely careful though about these super anti-fires running out. Lava scale shards to make extended super anti-fires are pretty inefficient to get. I don't want to sit around AFKing infernal eels. Oh, I got it already. The dragon metal sheet. Sick, dude. I got that 10 kills in. That is 1 out of 180. I was so lucky to get that first one so fast. I'm sure it'll balance out though over the long run because I'm gonna have to get a lot of those. It says 200k, but the real actively traded price for these on the GE are close to 3 mil. And it is currently November 29th, so about a week and a half after release. My first trip, I got 14 KC. When you have 4 people here, that's about when it starts to feel kind of cramped. There's probably multiple more safe spots. There's another one up here. You can see where someone is safe spotting from. They occasionally drop superior dragon bones just to throw you off, along with the frost dragon bone. As you can see, it dropped both of them. I wonder how it got the superior bones. They drop hard clues, and that reminds me, earlier I was going to be doing some clue scrolls. I opened up an easy, medium, and hard because I figured I would just knock out a few since I have them capped out, or I have the easies and mediums capped out. The first or the second step I got was go to the top of the Hunter's Guild. I immediately looked for my max cape. I was like, no, I'm going to wait till after I get the max cape back before I bother doing clues. There is a Frost Dragon's specific Slayer task. It's a waiting of 5 from Kuradal. But it would just take an insane amount of time because I haven't calced it out yet, but you definitely have to kill at least 1,000, probably like multiple thousands. So you'd have to get that task so many times. And maybe if you're like starting earlier on in an account that's not already maxed, like the progression naturally from starting from level 3, maybe it would make more sense to do the Frost Dragons as you get them. But at this stage, I just need to rush these Frost Dragons, get, I don't know, 1,000, couple thousand kills in, whatever I got to do to get the sheets and nails that I need. I do want to mention that the most recent game update as I'm uploading this came out a few days after I'm recording the stuff that you're seeing right now. But seeing as this is a progress video, I do think it's important to talk about how I'm feeling at the time as I'm recording it. But later in the video, I will go over the game update and talk about the things that have changed that I'm talking about earlier in this video right now. Oh yes, I got the dragon nails right before the end of the hour too, which I don't think I said, but I'm going to be timing out 1 hour. And his patch right now is, there's 5 people here, oh my god. And pause, 1 hour exactly of Frost Dragons right at the end of the inventory too. That's about 35k XP per hour for each of the combat stats. And then more importantly, the loot tracker. 1 hour of Frost Dragons was 112 of them. Sorry, the hiccups. 112 of them. Over the long run, to be safe, I think it would be fair to round it down and say like 100 kills per hour. You probably expect on average due to getting crashed, having to hop worlds, and just generally not being as efficient or paying as much attention as I was paying during this 1 hour. It does say the dragon nails are 1k each on the GE, but the actual price of them that they're currently going for is close to 200k. Spook Dog just sent me this. I didn't realize she could hear me from the other room. Hey, shout out to the homie Violet for maxing again. What a beast. Forgot how long those max fireworks were. Might be my first time seeing the sailing cape in game. Heading back to the dragons, and I'm glad that we got that 100 kills per hour number. That's the rounded down estimate. It'll be a very nice clean number to work with when I'm calculating stuff out later. I did want to see if regular anti-fire would work, or if I'll take a little bit of damage, because there's not too much info on the wiki right now. Frost Dragons are not listed on the Dragonfire page, and I have the answer already. Okay, I do have to use Super Anti-Fire. What I want to see now is if I have the Anti-Dragon Shield, but just a regular Anti-Fire potion, will that protect me from the Dragonfire? And it seems like it is so far. As long as I still have to pray melee, but I could just use regular Anti-Fire. I wish I had DFS. This would be such a good place to use it. Maybe I could get a DFS as a drop from them, because they do drop them 1 out of 10k. I cannot find a world. I've spent a long time hopping, and there's at least 3 people per world. That's kind of my metric to like determine if I should like start killing dragons in a world, if there's 3 or if there's less than 3 people, but I cannot find a world with less than 3 people. Because there's 6 dragon spawns, that would be 2 dragons per person. I vastly underestimated the time these upgrades would take, so I'm gonna go salvage now and talk about this and maybe reassess the goals for the video. If you don't know, each tier of shipwrecks has their own unique item that you can get from the shipwrecks. I'm currently at the large shipwrecks, which is the level 53. The unique item from this is the broken compass, and it's 1 in 3,000. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's bad XP per hour, but as a collection logger, I'm going to be getting these collection log items eventually anyways, so I may as well do it now. I'm not in a rush to 99 because I'll probably get to 98 before Spook Dog, and we want to max at the same time, so not really missing out on much by going for these lower tier shipwrecks right now. Remember the giant clam ocean encounter I was going over in the last video? One way you could somewhat passively get them is while you're salvaging, if you just keep on filling up the cargo hold, and then when it's close to getting full, you could sail back and forth, use one of the crewmates to navigate back and forth while you're cleaning the salvages, and then hope you get the clam encounter while you're going back and forth. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that, not today at least, because I come here to AFK and that would make this not AFK, and it can be annoying sometimes trying to make sure and double and triple check that you're actually set up in the double spot properly. I don't know if this spot necessarily is as difficult to get into though, so maybe it would be more worth it here because I got into this spot very easily first try. And it looks like there's a lot of overlap with these two. But here we go. I want to talk about what I learned from the couple hours I spent at Frost Dragons, which I could have easily looked up beforehand, but I don't know, I just wanted to jump into it and learn and experience it firsthand for myself. Looking at this upgrade, the Dragon Keel, you need 16 large Dragon Keel parts, which is 2 Dragon Keel parts. So that's 32. And then each of these Dragon Keel parts is 2 Dragon Metal Sheets. So it is 64 Dragon Metal Sheets in order to upgrade the sloop. It would be cheaper, it'd be 20 metal sheets for the skiff, but for the sloop it is 64. The Dragon Metal Sheets are 1 out of 180, and I was getting 100 kills per hour, but let's even say like max efficiency I could be getting 120 kills per hour. At max efficiency, that would be 2/3 of a Dragon Metal Sheet per hour. In other words, it'd be 1.5 hours per Dragon Metal Sheet. If it's 1.5 hours for each one, and I would need 64 of them, and this is max efficiency, it'd be about 100 hours to upgrade the Dragon Keel. Hold on. As I'm talking here, I just got the broken compass, so my work here at this spot is done. We'll move on to the next spot. Let me clean up everything I have in here. And we are now at the Barracuda salvages. This is the level 35 tier, and once again, the unique item, the dull knife, is 1 out of 3k. The crystal extractor is going to be doing a lot of the carrying when it comes to getting XP here. Before I was rudely interrupted by getting the rare drop I was going for. So it'd be like 100 hours of killing frost dragons to upgrade the sloop to the Dragon Keel. I'm not saying that they should make the Dragon Metal Sheets more common because I don't know what they have planned for the future. Maybe there'll be a future boss or raid or skilling content that they have planned, and maybe by making these more common now, it could trivialize the future content they have planned, or they would have to make those Dragon Metal Sheets even more common if they were to make them more common now, and then they'd just be like super common eventually if they keep adding more and more content. Or maybe they want it to take hundreds of hours or hundreds of mil to upgrade everything on your boat, because it's the endgame content for a skill and isn't meant to be completed in 2 weeks. It's not my place to say that this is too fast or too slow, but what I do know is that the skill is a week and a half old, and there's only been 1 game update since release as I'm recording this. It is very possible Jagex will make changes to the drop rate or to Frost Dragons, because in recent years, they have more often released content to be a bit underwhelming and then buffed it later on, rather than releasing content too OP than having to nerf it. Right now, it would be a few hundred hours of packed Frost Dragons to make all the upgrades, and having experienced the content myself, I feel like it makes sense to wait, because at best, the Dragon Metal Sheets would become more common and they would add more Frost Dragon spawns, but at worst, I don't think they would make the Dragon Metal Sheets more rare. I think the worst case scenario would just be that they don't do anything, the release hype would die down, people would move on, and the area wouldn't be as packed That's like the worst case scenario if I were to wait. So it feels like there's only upside to waiting on going for those dragon upgrades. And I mean, there is plenty of sailing collection log slots I can go for right now that wouldn't be affected by having upgraded boat parts, or at least wouldn't really have that much of an impact by only having the rune parts. With all that said though, there is a new Follow the Bard clue item all the way at the bottom. A dragon keel parts. Not like building the dragon keel on your boats, I hope at least. Just the item, dragon keel parts, which is 2 dragon metal sheets put together. That is a very realistic thing for me to do. So I'm going to go get at least 1 more dragon metal sheet. It is definitely a much better time of day to be here. And I'm going to use stab with the lance instead of crush because my gut is telling me to. I've made the comparison before in previous videos how sailing has similarities to dungeoneering, but this is like almost a direct copy taken from the RuneScape 2 playbook. When you reach dungeoneering level milestones, you unlock resource dungeons around the game that have rare mobs or scarce resources. Well, 85 Dungeoneering unlocks the only place in the game to kill frost dragons, and now in old school, you need 87 sailing to unlock what is effectively this resource dungeon that has the only location to kill frost dragons. Oh, I finally got another one, the dragon metal sheet. It took me until 752 to get my second dragon metal sheet. Considering it's 1 out of 180, I should have expected 4 by now, so I'm too unlucky. I have half as many as I should have gotten. I'm just gonna finish up this trip though. When I come back to Frost Dragons in the future, when hopefully it's less crowded, or maybe they will have added new spots or whatever, you know, all the stuff I said before, I do want to try out the mage method eventually using the Dragon Hunter wand and Fire Surge. That'll be fun to try out, but as of right now, I'm happy with my 2 dragon metal sheets. And in the future, I'll actually be actively doing my hard clues because I keep getting the message in the chat box that I would have received a hard clue, and I've missed out on so many hard clues because I refuse to do them until I get my max cape back. I'm not going to make these sheets into the item until I actually need it for the clue step though, because it is 2 to make that dragon keel parts for fallow, but because sailing is so new and the updates can be volatile right now while they're getting things sorted out, maybe they're going to change that to just being a dragon metal sheet, like who knows. So until I actually get the clue step, I'm just going to keep it like that. So with that said, my Frost Dragon adventures have come to an end at 757 KC. I got over 100 dragon nails, and the dragon nails that you need to upgrade all the things on the ships, you will complete the dragon nails well before you finish getting all the dragon metal sheets that you need. I did not do the math myself, but I read or heard somewhere that you'd have to kill like 40,000 frost dragons in order to upgrade everything in your ship. So that'd be like 400 hours at the rate I'm going, or even at like max peak efficiency. I've heard using mage with the Dragon Hunter wand and the Tome of Fire, it's like 170 to 180 kills per hour. But even so, 40,000 dragon kills would still be over 200 hours at max peak efficiency. I want to mention about these frost dragon bones. When you use them at the Wildy altar, it's 350 XP per bone, but the Wildy altar doubles your bones overall, so it comes out to 700 prayer XP per bone. And getting 100 bones per hour, that means I am banking, because I was banking all the bones, that means I'm banking about 70k prayer XP per hour. I kind of want to see if you were to hypothetically go for the 40,000 frost dragons, that'd be 28 mil banked prayer XP. It almost seems like 99 prayer could be passive for Ironman, depending on how you play. When you're getting all these upgrades for sailing, combined with going for the Dragon Hunter Lance from Hydra, along with all the bone shards that you could get from doing Varlamore content. Throw in a bit of demonic offering spell for the ashes while you're doing Slayer, and 99 prayer for Ironman is a lot different. The road to 99 is very, very different than it used to be. But for now, I am heading back to the Barracuda Shipwrecks to try and get the 1 out of 3k item from this one, the dull knife. Do you see all these full worlds or close to full worlds? I'm pretty sure this is because of people shipwreck salvaging. These are the worlds that people are like hopping in between. It's crazy to see so many close to full worlds. The XP rate from these shipwrecks is a lot worse compared to those higher tier shipwrecks, but nonetheless, if you do the worst XP rate long enough, you can still gain levels, and there is level 91. Oh dang, Spootog's catching up. She got 89 sailing. I was about to go to bed, so I was actually just about to record a clip. Anyways, so there's not really a way to track how much of this loot I've gotten from salvaging, because the loot tracker doesn't keep track of it. I think I've said that multiple times already, but just saying it again. I have been here salvaging for over 10 hours today, And I don't know how much XP I got from the crystal extractor versus how much came from the actual salvages versus what I salvaged and what the crewmate salvaged. So it's very hard to quantify. But one thing I can look at is these boat bottles. They are about 1 in 500. So I could look at the fact that I got 8 of those today and say that I'm probably over the drop rate just from today for the dual knife. I've also spent a lot of time here yesterday and earlier on in my sailing grind. My inventory is getting pretty filled up with these boat bottles. I probably should go bank them. Yes! Yes, I'm eating dinner right now. Hold on. Let me finish chewing. I was genuinely starting to think that maybe it was bugged or I was at the wrong spot or you couldn't get it here or something because I've spent so long going for this item. It has to have been a total of, I mean, probably 20 hours the last 2 days plus maybe like 5 hours earlier on when I was doing sailing. So it's probably like 25 hours total to get the dual knife. Oh, that is so sick to get though. I could finally move on to a new AFK thing. It's also made me realize that maybe I shouldn't be actively going for this stuff and I should solely save the salvaging for only the times when I want to AFK. I just thought it was something I could get in a couple hours and I was like, yeah, I'll just stay here a little bit longer, and I ended up just losing like 2 whole days going for this item. Let me open up the seed box, see what I got in here from today. It's a good amount of seeds. And Spook Dog got 90 sailing not too long ago, so yeah, like I was saying before, I guess it's a good thing that I'm doing some slower XP rate stuff because it's given her a chance to catch up so we can max at the same time and not have either one of us be waiting around for the other for too long. The next tier of the salvages I'll be going for are the Fisherman Shipwrecks, which is level 26. So that's a tier lower than the one I was doing before. So this would be an even worse one to go try on because the XP rate's can be even worse. Level 26 requirement. And once again, is going to be a 1 out of 3k drop rate. The item I'll be going for is called the Moldy Block. I went to the spot up by Catherby first, but it didn't look like there were any double spots there. So I've come down here and there's a double spot. There's not too many people doing this, which makes sense because you're not going to be doing this as a training method for very long. So really the only people for the most part that are going to be here doing these fishy salvages are the people going for the collection log. And I feel like at this stage in sailing, there's not a lot of people that are specifically going for a collection log. Everyone just wants to get their sailing up as high as possible. They're probably, if they are going to be AFKing, they'll probably be doing the higher tier salvages to train sailing. Wow, 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 I got the Moldy Block already. There it is. That was quite a lot faster than the previous one. The RNG always balances out across everything you do in the game in the end, right? Glad to get lucky on that one. I have all this extra on the cargo hold that I'm just gonna teleport out from. Here's a look at the Sea Treasures collection log now. There's only 2 more of these salvage items to get. And I am doing a birdhouse run right now. I have not been doing very many of these at all lately since sailing has come out. In fact, I haven't really been doing anything outside of sailing since the skill has come out. It is very, like, if you want it to be, it can be very separated from the rest of the game. It feels like it's very integrated, but at the same time, it does feel like it's separate too. I am immersed with the boat skill. I feel like doing a bit of port tasks because it's something I haven't done too much, or not since the early game at all. And this is my first time doing this with the crew. It's so funny picking up the cargo and then all these crewmates appear carrying it too. Each crewmate can carry a different amount of cargo. Here's the list. So when you're doing port tasks or courier tasks, you at least want to have these 3 that can hold 2. And then it doesn't really matter too much for the others if you're able to have more than 3 crewmates. I know I need to upgrade my hull because realistically, I'm not going to be able to upgrade to the rosewood hull anytime soon, so I may as well just get ironwood. I probably should do that. But the reason why I'm doing the port tasks right now is just kind of a random thing because I'm waiting until the game update, which is 1 day from now, to see what they do, see if they change anything with frost dragons or deep sea trawling or even the courier tasks. I want to see what they're going to change before I decide what grind I want to do next. So right now I'm just kind of chilling, trying out these port tasks and hoping I see a giant clam along the way. Originally I was just going to sail back and forth in a line, hoping I get a giant clam random event. But I was like, wait, I could do the courier tasks while I'm searching for these giant clam random events. Last time I did the courier tasks on like day 2 of sailing, there was not this plugin that would help you out, but now it tells you where the crates are going. It's so funny seeing all the crewmates here. I love that. Deposit the cargo. There's the XP drop. And finally, level 92 sailing. And you know what that means. You all know what's so special about level 92. That means I am now over 92% of the way to 99. Dude, the Civitas port is such a cool port to sail into. I feel like I'm really sailing into a like medieval or Roman times type of port. This is sick. Ignore all the orange squares on the screen. It's a very nice feeling when you have a bunch of crates all going to the same place. You finally get to collect all of your XP. I love to see it. There's two kinds of deliveries. There's just a one-way, and then there's the back and forth delivery. And it seems like what you want to do is find a back and forth delivery that's as far away as you can get, teleport to that place that's far away, summon your boat there, and you can immediately load up that cargo from that place that's far away and save yourself the long trip there. I'm not going to be going super in-depth into this because there's a lot of micro efficiencies that you can really get into. This whole courier task system is really cool and you can get really deep into it, but I'm just doing it for a couple hours today, maybe tomorrow. Ooh, I got shark paint. I mean, I've gotten that before, but I got another one, which is cool because each time you use it, you can't get it back. It's like a one-time use kind of thing to paint your boat. I guess dupes of paints don't show up in your collection log. It's probably not that notable of a thing. I mean, I've gotten it once, maybe twice before, and I haven't even done that many courier tasks. And it says even right here on the wiki, it is a common reward from port tasks. This is a crazy delivery. Alderan to the Sunset Coast. Here's Alderan. Here's the Sunset Coast. Bro, just throw it across the water. I did not end up seeing any giant clams while I was doing the courier tasks, but I realized as well there's some collection log slots that come from deep sea trawling, and I heard it's in a bad spot right now. Maybe we'll see in the coming weeks or months if they make some improvements to deep sea trawling, because you might have to spend a lot of time there to get those collection log slots, and those pearls might be something you could passively get done while you're going for all the big fish from deep sea trawling. As for right now though, I've spent the day today, like my whole day, doing these martial salvages, or the mercenary shipwrecks with the martial salvages. No luck with anything yet. You would have seen it by now, of course. I was thinking about frost dragons though, and they really do seem like kind of a bottleneck, because getting ship upgrades would mean faster ship combat, faster Gwyneth trial times, faster salvaging, faster courier tasks. Like getting those dragon upgrades would speed up everything. Although it's probably not that necessary, and it's probably not a huge upgrade. Like the time it would take to make those upgrades would not save you that amount of time just on the way to 99. But as a completionist type of account, it's the sort of thing where it's like, if I'm going to eventually get those things, then I may as well do it as soon as possible so that it has the most benefits for me, or has more benefits for me as early as possible. But at the same time, sailing is not even 2 weeks old, and they're probably going to make a lot of changes to sailing, and probably to frost dragons and like all the other types of different sailing activities I was just talking about. So it's like I could also just wait for those things to probably become easier, more quality of life, wait for RuneLite plugins to come out for those things. I think I'll just be doing these martial salvages for the rest of today, and then I want to see what the game update is before I end the video. The game update's going to be at like 2 a.m. my time, so tomorrow morning is when we'll see what the game update is, and I'll probably end the video then, because I do have an idea of something I want to do for the next video. And depending on what the game update's going to be and what potential future changes they're going to have, that will also impact the things that I end up doing for the next video. One thing that would be nice, I think they already said they plan to do, is to have the crewmates save their jobs upon logout or world hopping. Although with these martial salvages or the mercenary shipwrecks, there's no double spot, so I'm not even hopping worlds for these anyways. And we got another sailing level, 93. You can now build the Rosewood Hull. I've not been keeping up or looking at the group Ironman high scores very much since sailing has come out, but I was kind of curious, want to see what it looked like today, and we are currently rank 11. And this, I don't know when this team got it, but they are the first team to duo max since sailing has come out, so that's pretty sweet. And then I was looking at Andy, and he's level 98 sailing on both of his accounts. There's 98 and the other 98. We had that game update today, and there was so much in the update that I wanted to talk about that it would be too much to talk about in just a progress video. So I ended up making a separate video that I just uploaded. Recording this clip right now because I just got 94 sailing, and I will link that video in the description if you haven't seen it. It was the one I would have just uploaded right before this one. But there is so much to talk about, so much they changed. I do want to talk about the things that will affect the frost dragons, because this video is a frost dragon based video. I just need to like finish doing some editing still right now. Okay, here's the changes they have made regarding frost dragons. They have made their respawn timer faster. They will now respawn every 4.5 seconds instead of 18 seconds, And they've added a Slayer task only area. Remember earlier I said that because there's 6 Frost Dragons, that really allows for 3 people per world. Each person gets 2 Frost Dragons, and even with the max gear setup, I think it's about 20 seconds expected time to kill, so the 18 seconds was like just the right amount of time for each person to have 2 dragons. But 4.5 seconds, that's so fast. I wonder if that means you could have like 1 dragon per person, or maybe there's gonna be like 1 like sweaty or efficient player per world. So maybe like 4 people, each with a dragon to themselves, and a 5th person killing 2 dragons. Either way, you should be able to support like 4 to 6 people now per world instead of 3. And they released the drop rates today, and this is very, very interesting with the Frost Dragons. So it turns out it was 1 in 200, not 1 in 180 for the Dragon Metal Sheet. But when you're on Slayer task, it's almost 4 times as common. It is 1 in 55 for a Dragon Metal Sheet, which means I think it actually would be worthwhile to wait and only do Frost Dragons while you're on Slayer task. Knowing that it's 1 in 55 on task, combined with the fact they added a task only area, I think going forward, my plan as of right now, with the knowledge that we have right now, I only plan to kill Frost Dragons on Slayer task, which also means that I will most certainly not be making any dragon upgrades to my boat before getting 99 sailing, because I do want to try to get the max cape back sooner than later. I'm not about to take a detour doing Slayer without the max cape to spend hundreds of hours doing Slayer while sometimes getting these Frost Dragon tasks to passively get my Dragon Metal Sheet stack up. Some other relevant non-Frost Dragon changes they made today: they nerfed the Crystal Extractor so it no longer gives 600 sailing XP. It now gives 250 XP. But they also fixed the Horizon's Lure, so now it gives the 2.5% XP boost to all activities that give sailing XP, because it wasn't doing it for all these activities before, including the Crystal Extractor, so I'm actually getting 256 XP per harvest. They did overall nerf the amount of XP that you get from salvaging. However, they also added some quality of life things with the crewmates, including the crewmates now remember their assigned task upon logout, or hopping worlds. I'm so glad they added that. That's like the biggest quality of life thing for me personally. I love that. They added more double salvage spots to every shipwreck hotspot, while also making these double hotspots easier to access and orient yourself so that you're not getting stuck repeatedly. These mercenary shipwrecks that I'm doing right now, I spent all day here yesterday, and these did not have a double spot at all at any of the locations for them. But as of today, every spot is now a double spot. This does come with a downside, which is that there's always 3 active spots, with a total of 5 spots before, but now there's 6. So instead of 3 out of 5 active spots, there's now 3 out of 6 spots that are active, which does decrease the AFK time before you have to move spots or hop worlds. But in my opinion, because the crewmates now save their jobs upon hopping worlds, I actually like it more now. Especially nice with these mercenary shipwrecks, because from these martial salvages, we found out today it is 1 in 24k. Let me pull up the drop rate. The paint you get from the martial salvages, 1 in 24k. It's very possible they're going to change the rate in the future, because all the changes are going to be so volatile over the first couple months of sailing, I'm sure. But as of right now, it is 24k, so I'm going to have to spend a lot of time here. Oh, and with today's update, well, this is more so a RuneLite update than the game update, RuneLite now tracks the salvages. So I could see this is everything I've done today, close to 3,000 of these martial salvages. Everything I've done today, I just have to do that 8 total times, and that's what it would feel like to meet the drop rate for the martial salvages. Wait, we could do some math here. Based on this XP tracker, I've spent 8 hours here today. And if I have to do that 8 times total, it's like 65 hours. Yeah, 65 hours to meet the drop rate. That was very easy to figure out. Oh my god, that's a long time. But it's AFK. Wait, how much XP would that mean then to meet the drop rate? If it's 62,000 XP per hour and we're saying 65 hours, that'd be 4 million XP at the martial salvages to meet the drop rate for that paint. This would mean about 350 salvages you can do per hour. There's also hard clues 1 out of 500. So every, I guess, hour and a half-ish of these mercenary shipwrecks, you would expect 1 hard clue. I know I said I would end the video today, but I spent the whole day recording, and at this point it's getting pretty late, and I'm all recorded out from making clips all day and making that other video. So I'm gonna just spend the rest of the day today, once again, chilling at these martial salvages, the mercenary shipwrecks, and tomorrow I will end the video and we'll move on to the next thing that I want to do. I need to chill and watch some YouTube right now. Oh, I just got the broken sextant, the 1 out of 3K drop from here. There is still the salvers paint to get, the 1 out of 24K, but it's cool to see one of the things. I guess you would expect to get 8 of these on average before you meet the drop rate for the salvers paint. See how many salvages it took me. I've done, well, 3,500 today. I don't know how many I've done over the last day or couple days that I've been here for, but it's probably like double the drop rate if I had to guess. They just made another news post today, back-to-back days, and I actually just spent the day today making a video on that one as well. But one of the changes, something I just mentioned in this video, how the spots are 3 out of 6 active spots. One of the changes they're going to be making later today is it's going to be 4 active spots, so it'll be 4 out of 6 instead of 3 out of 6 being active at a time. A crewmate needs level 4 deck handiness in order to be able to operate a dragon hook, and there's only one crewmate before that had level 4 deck handiness, which was Captain Boy Jenkins, but with the update from yesterday, they added a second crewmate. Jolly Jim now also has level 4 deck handiness. And besides for a higher level deck handiness allowing them to work a higher level hook, a higher level also means you get more XP each time they bring up salvage for you. So once you get level 85 sailing, you probably want to unlock Jolly Jim as soon as possible before you go back to salvaging. For real now, after a couple days of being here on the water salvaging, it is finally time to leave and go back to playing the game and doing stuff again. Here's all the stuff I have in my inventory I've gotten without banking. We can check the seed box as well. Good amount of seeds in there, and a little price check of all these things I collected in my inventory. 4.8 mil. I wanted to double check to make sure there's no extension for frost dragons, because I really want to do that and make sure I don't forget to do that later on if there was one, but I did not see a frost dragon extension on here, so I really hope that they do add one. So I would get that ASAP. Little update on the sailing XP. I'm currently at, well, level 94, 8.5 mil XP, and Spook Dog is currently at level 93. I think realistically, we could probably max in maybe around a week from the time I'm recording this. Andy has already maxed one account, and the other account is sitting at level 98. For the next video, there's still a lot of sailing collection log items that I want to go for, so we're going to go out sailing and exploring to get those unlocked. And that's all I've got for today. So you can check out Spook Dog's most recent GIM video. I'll have it linked below in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.